My name is Alex. My whole life, I've considered myself the master of my destiny and an expert on the wild side. Hiking, rafting, and surviving in the forest weren't just a hobby. They were a part of me. I read tracks like an open book, navigated by the moss and the sun better than any GPS, and sincerely believed that the forest was simply a collection of trees, the laws of physics, and common sense. I was wrong. I've never been so terribly wrong. Blackwood, that's what the locals called this vast, ancient tract of taiga, where even loggers were afraid to venture. They said it was a God-forsaken place. People vanished without a trace there. They didn't drown in the swamps. They didn't freeze. They simply vanished. They vanished. Of course, I thought these were just stories for timid tourists. For me, Blackwood was a challenge, an unconquered peak, to prove to myself and others that I could go where others gave up. There were three of us. Me, my friend Marcia, a rock-solid pragmatist to the core, and Lana, his girlfriend. Lena was different, quiet, observant. She sensed the forest differently than we did. She saw not just the trees, but their characters. She heard not just the wind, but its whisper. I used to laugh at her urban fantasies. We were already on our third day of walking. The route was difficult, but I was confident. The map, compass, GPS tracker, everything worked. The weather was perfect, a dry, crisp September. But by the evening of the third day, I felt something wrong for the first time. The forest had changed, not abruptly, no, slowly, imperceptibly. The trees became identical, century-old pines, as alike as twins. The moss on the trunks grew evenly on all sides, as if the sun here didn't move in a circle, but shone from everywhere at once. The path we were following began to wind, leading us back to the same landmarks. An oddly shaped boulder, an oak tree split by lightning. Alex, we were already here about 40 minutes ago, Marcia said, frowning at the oak tree. No, really, I said dismissively, checking the tracker. It's just a similar place. The GPS says we're heading in the right direction, but the GPS was lying. The dot on the screen was moving steadily north, but I felt like we were going in circles. The compass, the needle wasn't spinning wildly, no. It simply froze, stubbornly pointing west, no matter which way I turned, as if the magnetic pole itself had shifted for the three of us. The sun was beginning to set, but the sunset was strange. Not crimson, not golden. The sky simply darkened, turning from gray to deep blue, without the usual play of colors. And it became quiet, absolutely quiet. The sounds of the forest disappeared. The birdsong, the chirping of grasshoppers, the rustling of leaves. All that remained was a buzzing in my ears. I'm scared, Lena whispered, clinging to Marcia. The forest, it's watching. I wanted to brush it off again, but I couldn't, because I felt it too. The sensation of 1,000 invisible eyes watching our every step from behind every tree trunk. We decided to stop for the night. We lit a fire and pitched the tent, but sleep wouldn't come. The silence was oppressive, and the darkness seemed alive, swirling. I sat by the fire, tossing branches and peering into the darkness between the trees, and then I saw him. He stood on the border of light and darkness. An old man, a seemingly ordinary old man, tall, lean, with a long gray beard, wearing a worn canvas jacket and holding a walking stick. He wasn't hiding. He simply stood and looked at us. His eyes glittered in the dim light with a strange green light like a cat's.